1MDB has sparked embezzlement and money laundering investigations across
one of the
at least
biggest
10
corruption
countries.
scandals the world has ever seen.
What may be the biggest financial scam in history.
A number of corrupt 1MDB officials treated this public trust as a personal bank account.
Follow us as we bring you into the courtroom where the biggest financial scandal in Malaysian history is being heard. By the Malaysian Insight, this is the Najib Razak 1MDB trial, and I'm Patrick Teo. After 4 months' postponement, the 1MDB trial finally resumed this morning at the Kuala Lumpur High Court, where a witness said former Prime Minister Najib Razak was the company's showrunner. In mid-September last year, the court heard 1MDB company's former CEO Muhammad Hazim Abdul Rahman finish his witness statement. Today, Najib Razak's defense counsel began its cross-examination of Hazim, the 10th prosecution witness. During the opening, lead prosecutor Gopal Sri Ram requested Judge Colin Sekera to issue a warning against Najib Razak for his recent postings on Facebook. The content published on December 29th was chastising the upcoming 26th prosecution witness, Bank Negara Malaysia Governor Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz. Najib has asked Zeti to respond if her family received over 100 million ringgit, which included 1MDB funds from fugitive businessman Low Teck Joe. Gopal raised the matter to seek protection for Zeti before her appearance at trial. Najib's lawyer, Muhammad Shafee Abdullah, responded that it is unfair for his client to zip his voice, while many have also spoken negative remarks against Najib. Judge Colin then granted time for Shafee to write a submission for the matter this Thursday. Hazim held the COO position in 1MDB in August 2012 and became CEO a few months later in March 2013. 5 years later, he personally wrote a witness statement to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC. Based on his recollection, the time was close to the post-2018 general elections, sometime between May and June. Similar to Shafee's questioning of the 9th witness, Sharul Halmi, who was CEO before Hazim, Shafee circled on the 1MDB's Memorandum and Articles of Association, or M&A. Shafee exerted the point that Najib wore many hats, being the Prime Minister, Finance Minister, Chairman of 1MDB's Board of Advisors, and a shareholder representative. According to Article 117 of the M&A, the appointment and termination of the senior management team must be approved by the Prime Minister. Shafee said Hazim misinterpreted Najib's powers to make decisions as then Prime Minister, in which Hazim made clear that Najib never invoked Article 117 and Najib's approval was mandatory regardless of which hat Najib put on. So Najib had the powers to decide? Shafee asked, and Hazim agreed. That's the wrong way. You might as well put the M&A into the bin. I put that your interpretation is wrong, Shafee said aloud. Hazim strongly disagreed, and that was not the only claim by the defense that Hazim diffused. Hazim also opposed Shafee for saying Hazim did not need to follow suit the directives of the 1MDB Board of Advisors and Najib based on theory. Well, based on company law, yes, Hazim said, but in reality, Najib is the showrunner. The previous witness, Sharul, had also earlier said that it was not simple getting the approvals of the multiple hats Najib. Shafee gave examples of situations where Najib's approval was not recorded, such as in the acquisition of Mastika Legenda Sdn Bhd. The acquisition of 2.75 billion ringgit value to be done by a new subsidiary, 1MDB Energy Langat Limited, was only created 3 days after the purchase, Shafee asked. Hazim shelved that it is just a technical matter. cross-examination also had the witness reveal that as a COO, he only acted on the operational side. Hazem said he was largely not involved in the financial discussions, including in the acquisition of Genting's power entities and in the appointing of Goldman Sachs as a financial advisor. Most of these movements were done when Shahrul held the CEO seat. Shafee also asked Hazem if the commission of 801 million ringgit paid to Goldman Sachs for another acquisition, the 1MDB Energy Langat Limited, was high. Hazem said, very high. And that concluded the proceedings today. The 1MDB trial will resume tomorrow with Hazem still on the stand for cross-examination. This podcast was brought to you by the Malaysian Insight. It is written by Hayley Chang Wee Kai and I'm Patrick Teo.